kid in the Twilight series. So let me ask you this: when you guys are kind of out and you're seeing people with all this Twilight stuff, like T-shirts and everything, and then tonight you guys are going to be at the Twilight Werewolf Party at Mirage in downtown Raleigh, and undoubtedly there's going to be people dressed up as the Cullens and the Pack. Like, do you sit there and go, "Oh my God, we are a part of this"? Does it like trip you out still?
I mean, it still feels a little bit surreal. I'm a little more familiar with it, but I mean, at first, I definitely thought it was very, surreal. Really mind blown by the whole experience.
Again, surreal. No, yeah, it's pretty weird, but whatever.
But I mean, I think it's great fun, man. Like, I love to get dressed up in the costumes myself, so I just have a blast with it, you know?
I just like pretending to be a woman sometimes,
Have you guys?
Sometimes, yeah.
Have you guys ever dressed up as werewolves or vampires, like
I did.
as kids?
I think I was a vampire when I was a young kid, when I was a little.
No, Dracula's cape, the white fangs and all that.
And now it comes full circle with the Twilight series.
Yeah.
So anybody who's watched the movie, especially Eclipse and the second one, which I can't keep track of the title, but like knows that you guys are all pretty cut. What kind of training? What kind? Are you guys like doing P90X now, which seems to be like the workout of like the stars? Are you guys like living on twigs and berries and like going like, I can't eat dessert, I hate this, like how's that?
I eat whatever I want because I'm still growing.
How are you guys?
No.
Oh yeah, you guys don't have you guys have a metabolism of like.
I mean, me if I don't eat properly, I gain weight really quickly, but I can lose it just as quick also.
Yeah,
but
right.
I hate you guys.
I bought the P90X box set and it still sits up in my closet, there's untouched. But I just pretty much hit the gym, do
Well, you guys probably have professional trainers on the set that are like completely destroying you and breaking you down, no pun intended.
No. I mean, there was times I remember like jumping right back into the workouts, and it's like we're working like 2-3 hours a day. I remember I would physically get sick when I first jumped back into it because it was just they put us through like crazy.
You turned green a few times.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
I remember right after workout, I was walking up to the bathroom, all of a sudden I'm like throwing up on the stairs, and it's like, ew.
What have I gotten myself into?
It's good. I couldn't walk after that.
Do you guys ever think that the Twilight franchise would get as big as it is?
I was oblivious. I had no idea because when I went in for my audition, I went in for New Moon and I thought it was just like some native show. It was like whatever. I just got the sides, right? And the next year I got a call back, so I did a little bit of my homework, and then I realized it was this whole Twilight phenomenon. And I was a little nervous for the audition, but then I guess 3 weeks later I got the call back and saying I got the part, so I was pretty happy about that.
And now is it kind of like you guys can't, how is your public life now where you're like, oh God, this movie has completely like destroyed my personal life for the rest of my life? Because now even this morning as I was coming in, I get an email going, hello to Kiowa. Me and 2 other Twi moms flew to Seattle this past July, rented a car, blah, blah, blah. And long story short, at the end, and then they send a picture. Really hot. And then and then they go, any chance we can come by tonight and say hi? And I'm like, oh God, these are like the women that you guys have like security for, Yeah. You're like, is it like that where you guys have like see the same fans show up at some of these events? They travel around the country. And you're like, oh my God, these people are really big
It's crazy.
fans.
I was actually in Germany and they asked me, they're like, what's one question you would want to ask us, the fans? And I'm like, where do you get the money to come to all these events? Where's your jobs at? I'm like, how the hell do you pay for all this?
Who's supporting your Twilight?
Because like I would literally see them, like these French girls, like when we were filming, and then I'd see them in Paris, then I'd see them in like New Zealand, and I'm like wondering how are they getting all this money to travel back and forth like this? And I asked one of them.
The most expensive addiction ever.
I asked one of them. They're like, yeah, my father's a chocolatier for Godiva. And I'm like, makes sense.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this girl who makes me cookies every time too. She comes like Sabrina. She comes like every Twilight convention I've been to.
Yeah.
New York, we had a little meet and greet. She was there.
I think she runs one of my sites too. Yeah.
So needless to say, not that it was probably ever a challenge, but the dating lifestyle probably comes a lot easier than it used to in the past.
For Bronson.
No, I mean, I'm good.
I got to ask you guys. We've got Kiowa and Bronson from the Twilight franchise in studio today. What's your favorite songs on the radio right now? I don't even know if you guys listen to the radio, maybe, or maybe what's like top 10 played in your iPod. You know.
I don't know. I really started digging on that new Kanye and Jay-Z album. That's pretty sick. And what else do I like?
I have no idea about radio. I don't listen to radio because that music isn't my taste.
Radio is awesome. What are you talking about?
I'm just being real, you know.
Hey, no, we want you to be real. It's all good. It's all good.
I listen to I don't know, like metal. I like metal.
That's cool.
Screams, you know.
The Twilight soundtracks like seem to be pretty good. You know, it's one thing when you have a good movie, you have a good script, it's good writing, and then you have like a killer soundtrack to the Twilight franchise.
I was actually pretty impressed with their soundtracks.
No, it was great. I remember I was sitting at home with my mom, and she's like jamming out to the Twilight album track, and I'm like, shit, my mom's cooler than I am. Right? She's like, you never heard this? I'm like, Mama?
Thanks, Mom, for supporting. All right, so tonight it's the Twilight Werewolf Party at Mirage in downtown Raleigh. I'll be hosting. I mean, you guys are really going to be the host. I'm just going to be kind of like totally vibing off of what you guys have going on. I'll be like, hey, this is easy. These guys are totally carrying the party. So what kind of outfits? Because there's going to be a Halloween contest tonight, right? With prizes and stuff. What kind of Halloween? What kind of costumes really catch your eye?
Homemade ones.
What's that?
Homemade ones.
Okay.
I remember last year I seen a pierogi. I seen a pierogi, and I also seen these like two guys. They were like dressed as a Balenciaga purse, and another guy was dressed like as a Chanel purse. I thought that was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty very crafty.
Original.
That was very crafty.
Or like maybe tonight you'll see like. You know, you said you saw a pierogi. Maybe tonight there'll be the slutty pierogi. You know, because everything, no matter what girls are dressed up as, it's like the slutty like pierogi.
I don't know, man. Like, this pierogi, he had some good dancer legs.
Oh, it was a guy. Okay. Well, so the party is tonight. The guys will be there, and apparently you guys have fans like that are willing to travel across the country, which just blows my mind. That's awesome. But the party's tonight. One last question, though. I have to ask you guys, because I know all the women are, and you guys probably had this question a million times, so you're very good at answering it. What's it like to work with Taylor Lautner?
So dreamy. I like washing my clothes on his abs.
No, I mean, you think, like, somebody of his stature, like him and Robert, they're in a position now where they could, like, it's easy to kind of be like, you know, this thing's gotten bigger than, you know, everybody in the movie. But, like, he seems like the kind of guy that you can hang out with who's just kind of like, hey, you know, like, just cool.
No, they're really super cool people. They're really down to earth, really chill people. They're good to hang out with.
Yeah. I remember bowling with Taylor, and he almost broke his neck.
So you're saying he's not a great bowler?
No, he was, but like he tried doing a backflip and the ceiling was like 5 feet tall, and he like kicked the ceiling out, and it was just crazy because if he would have gotten hurt, you know, that was when we were filming it, it would have been bad.
As I understand it, like I was reading y'all's IMDb profile, and is this really like the first like movie projects you guys have been involved with?
Yeah.
Movies, yeah, but I did a lot of Canadian television before, and just kind of jumped into movies.
As a seasoned television actor, it's pretty great.
But like that's you know that's pretty. I mean, like you kind of get into these projects, these Twilight movies, and before you know it, now all of a sudden your life has kind of done a complete like 180. Like you guys were saying, you didn't necessarily think it was going to become what this movie franchise has become, and now you guys are like. You know, maybe you're like, you know, in aisle 3, you know, at the grocery store, and all of a sudden somebody's staring at you, and you're like, dude, I just want to get my Cheerios and get out of here. I'm freaked out.
Just trying to get my Fruit Loops out of here, man.
On a resume.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Bronson and Kiowa from the Twilight franchise. Thank you guys so much for coming in tonight.
Thank
and
you.
Look forward to. Hey, are you guys dressing up tonight?
I might be a little James Dean-ish, I guess.
I'm gonna go as Kiowa.
Yeah. Cut my hair. We're gonna staple my hair onto his head.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming in.